Hi folks, it's me Michaela and welcome back to my channel. We're back here with the still unnamed microphone. I still haven't decided. I don't know what suits the microphone best, but that is not the reason I pressed record today. I pressed record because I'm going to be starting a new reading vlog, and that reading vlog is going to be one that I think is going to be really fun because I'm going to be starting a new book tomorrow, but it's actually not going to be a new book. It's going to be my reread of A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. I first read this as my last book at the end of 2022. I'm pretty sure I finished reading this on my birthday, and I sobbed on my birthday while reading Fredrik Backman. I do have a reading vlog from when I read this. No idea if it's a good video or not. That was a while ago now. Oof. But I am going to be rereading it, and not only am I going to be rereading it, I'm also going to be annotating it. We're going to be annotating a book together for the first time. I'm not sure how much of annotating I'll show you because I'm honestly really bad at remembering to film anything other than I'm sitting here to tell you about the book. B-roll, don't know her, but I'll try my best to show you maybe some of the things I'm going to be highlighting. I have various sizes here of clear sticky notes, and I also have a Sharpie. I decided to go today with a contrast color to the book instead of a matching color to the book because I didn't feel like any of the Sharpie colors I have match the book well enough. So I was I need to just go in a completely different direction. So I've picked this cute little kind of mauve, lilac, lavender. It's that in between. It's not pink, it's not purple. You know what I mean? She's cute. I like it. Feels springy. So I'm going to be rereading A Man Called Ove. I love this book. Honestly, I haven't read it since 2022, so I don't want to say this is my favorite book I've ever read, but it is potentially the favorite book I've ever read. This reading vlog is really going to determine upon reread, is this my favorite book ever? I really do adore this book. I find Fredrik Backman has this wonderful storytelling ability, especially for these community relationships, and also his writing is so funny. It hits you really deep, but then it's also very comical. It's this very dry humor, very up my alley humor wise. I feel that is very Irish of me. I am Irish. I'm Canadian, but I'm also Irish. I have dual citizenship. So fun fact. And I feel it is very common to have very dry, dark humor culturally. I don't even am I inventing that? I feel Irish people generally have dry, dark humor, right? Anyway, this is kind of what this writing is and I love it. My favorite character is the cat. I have feelings I'm going to be highlighting a lot of things about the cat in this book. I do kind of wish I was able to buy this book before they started putting stupid fake stickers on the front of it about the movie, but you know what? You live and you learn. You win and you lose. That's how it is. I do own my favorite book. I will be annotating it. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be starting it while I'm at work tomorrow. My boss is in Italy for a business trip, so it's super slow, but that just gives me more time to read the book while I hold down the fort at the office. There we go. If you don't know about A Man Called Ove, it is the story of a grumpy old man in a small community, and then the relationships he builds to support him through a difficult period of his life. And also there's a cat. That's what I'm going to leave it at because again, I don't really like spoilers, so I don't want to tell you too much about it. I feel there are people who adore this book. I think there's people who really dislike this book, and I think that depends on how you feel about sometimes unlikable characters or characters who do very unlikable actions. If you're someone who your main character needs to be a goody perfect wonderful human for you to enjoy that story, one, no judgment. If you're that person, if that's the kind of books you like, no judgment. But this is not one of those books. There's a main character who is at times very unlikable. So if that's not for you, this is probably not the book for you. However, I think this book is amazing, and I think the characters are amazing because they're very complex and they have very, very full life stories and interactions with each other. Okay, I'm gonna just start reading the book, and then we can talk about the book and the annotating later. I don't have tabs because I don't like having tabs outside the book, but I want to have it highlighted my favorite section so that then when I reread it in the future, I can be oh, I really loved this the last time I read this book. A little reminder. That's the goal, that's the plan, that's the action that we are about to partake in right about now. Hello, I'm back. I have in fact not shot any B-roll or given you an update in days, and that's because I mostly was reading at work this week, and I discovered very quickly that I need to use both of my hands to annotate the book. So there's no way for me to then also film, because obviously I don't just like bring a tripod to work. That would be weird. I'm now here. It's the weekend. You can tell I've entered sport mode. I enter sport mode on the weekend. I wear athleisure only. But I am now, I want to say like a little under halfway through A Man Called Uwe, and look, it is just as good, if not better, than what I remember, okay? I've been doing my little annotations. Honestly, I haven't been highlighting like as much as I was expecting myself to. And it's not because I don't like it. It's because I like everything so much. It's like the overall book is something I like, that oftentimes it's like, oh, well, I'm not just going to like highlight a whole chapter. So it's like I want to highlight just like lines or a paragraph that really I find funny or enjoyable or touching, or for whatever reason I want to. That's kind of what I've been doing. You know, again, I love the cat. So like one of the lines I highlighted was the beginning of chapter 2, where it says, "It was 5 to 6 in the morning when Uwe and the cat met for the first time. The cat instantly disliked Uwe exceedingly. The feeling was very much reciprocated." Just little things like that I love. But then also there's lines where it's like, "He was a man of black and white, and she was color, all the color he had." Like when I tell you this book is sad, but like also it's so good, but also it's funny. Like how does it do it all? I don't know. This book is everything to me. But now that it's the weekend, it's Friday evening, I'm going to read some more of the book. I'm going to sit here and read my little book, how I'm annotating this with my clear sticky notes and my Sharpie. The Sharpie is because when you're using the clear sticky notes, a highlighter isn't going to dry very well on this, so it's gonna like smudge onto the actual pages of your book, which defeats the whole purpose of, you know, using the sticky notes. So yeah, that's the plan. So let's go read. Hello, I'm back. I started editing this video and realized that I apparently was wearing the exact same outfit in my intro as I did in my last update, which were like many days apart, but because I'm wearing the same outfit, it looks like it's the same day, and it's not, I swear. I just like to wear the same active wear all the time when I'm home because it's comfortable and I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not gonna wear my real clothes when I'm by myself indoors. Also, there's a baby crying somewhere, and I hope you can't hear that. I now only have about 50 pages left of A Man Called Uwe. Again, I just love this book. I really can't tell you how much I love this book. There's just something about like the storytelling in this and like the humor. It's a very dark humor, but I find it really funny. Also, like I said many times before, the cat is my favorite. I would no joke, I just highlight every single thing about the cat if I could, but I don't know. Let's see if I can like find some of the ones that I did highlight. Hold on. There's so many things that I like didn't highlight because it's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Highlight the whole book, because that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm trying to be very like picky. Okay, here's one line. Okay, here we go. Uwe stands there with his hands in his pockets. The cat beside him looks as if it would do the same if it had pockets or hands. Everything about the cat is like that. It's like the cat looks like, and then like some extremely obscure and specific thing. It's like probably my favorite part of the book, but just everything about the book is my favorite part of the book. The characters in this are also so great, and like the more you get to know of Uwe, like the more you warm up to him as a reader, and that is like really reflective of his interactions with the other characters in the book, where like he's very abrasive, and then the more you know him, the more the other characters come to like him and the relationships develop. And it's just like, oh, it's just such a good book. I'm gonna finish reading it, and then I don't even know, like my final thoughts are probably just gonna be like, I cried, I loved it. In terms of like annotating, like I said before, I use my little clear sticky notes. I get these from Amazon. These were just like the cheapest ones from Amazon I could find, so I use them. And Sharpies, just got a colored pack and use those. I'd have to use 2 sticky notes to be like the width of the books. So what I tend to do is just like leave them all hanging out, and then I'll go back and like trim them down afterwards. Sometimes I'll like do it in the moment. I just don't like having to carry around like a bunch of sticky notes, a Sharpie, a book, and scissors. So I tend to just not include the scissors with that, because I mean, that's a hazard. So yeah, I'm gonna finish reading this book and then I'll clue up the video. It's been a fun time. If you're wondering how I'm wearing this gigantic sweater in the middle of summer, I don't know. I just felt cold, so I put it on. Here we are. So yeah, there we go. My little final update before I finish the book. Having a good time. Glad I did this. You should read this book. So I finished the book and I cried. Part of me was like, I'm not going to cry this time because I already know what happens. But I am weak and I cried, but it was so good. Guys, this book will like forever and always be a 5-star, and like finishing it this time again just has solidified for me that I would confidently tell people this is my favorite book. Just a great book, and I think it has all of the things that I love. This dark, witty humor and very like relatable, real characters and wonderful emotional storylines, and it just weaves through Uwe's past and his present so like seamlessly. It works so well. You like don't even really feel like it's a dual timeline scenario because the flashbacks are so perfect in this book. Just Fredrik Backman's writing, man, gets me every time. It got me. Again, I cried, I bawled, I sobbed. If you want a book where you're gonna just sob at the end, here's the one for you. Try it out. We've made it to the end of the vlog, of the book, of the video, of, I don't know, the week, whatever. Are you like a Sunday is the start of the week or Monday is the start of the week kind of person? Today's Sunday. So like, is it a new week? Is it the end of the week? Anyway, that's really the video. Read this book. If you have not read this book, read this book. This is required reading to watch my channel from this point forward. Go do that. Go do your homework. Okay, thank you. I had a great time, which is like weird to say when I literally was like crying 5 minutes ago, but I had a great time. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a little like, give it a thumbs up. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. This was like a very chill reading vlog. I've already read the book before. I feel like I'm very new to annotating, so I didn't go super in depth with annotation because it's like I'm not the person to teach you. But hopefully, like, if you haven't thought about the clear sticky note Sharpie concept before because you haven't annotated because you don't want to mark in your books, now you can. You can be like me. I never wanted to mark in my books, but now I can mark in my books because I'm not actually marking in my books. I can remove it all. Nothing is permanent in here, so that feels good to my soul. Do let me know down below. Do you annotate your books? How do you annotate them? What do you choose to highlight, or do you write little notes in it? Let me know all the deets. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Bye-bye.